Hey, everybody. Another edition of JBS here. We got Alexey Stout, the fine post-grad. We remember him from his Christian Brothers CBA days the last few years. At Peddie now. Peddie School just committed to Gettysburg, and he is our guest today's edition of JBS. You're watching the Jersey Baseball Nation. Welcome, Alexey. It's been a while. We have wanted to do this for a while, but we said we'd wait for the commitment, and that was this week.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thanks for having me, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Definitely. We got you stole you from the shore, brought you over to Mercer County, plopped you right down in Peddie School. Tell us what Peddie life is like so far.
Yeah, it's been an interesting month. A lot of stuff going on. Just pretty much a set schedule with lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Getting weight room in, getting a lot of homework in, a lot of studies. Yeah, I mean, it's just pretty much everything's going on in one day.
We've seen you just kind of chilling in the weight room as much as possible.
Absolutely, and maybe I'm there anytime from 3 to 5, Monday through Saturday. So if you're a Peddie, you'll see me there at that time.
It's good stuff, right? I mean, it's pretty
huge.
Yeah. Now, the big news, obviously, this week. I mean, we know that it was a bit of a stressful time at the end of last year. Lots of guys in your position, 22 class, and now in the 23 class too, where it's tough with the transfer portal kind of taking shape, and it's tough to really get a home that you're happy with. But things worked out really well, it looks like, with Gettysburg. Program on the rise under new coach Cory Beddick. Great history with him. Tell us about the process and how excited you are to kind of feel good about where you're going.
It was super, super tough last year. Making the decision to play next year of high school, and just not going to college just for college, but wanting to play college baseball. But it was super, super tough. I mean, I talked to a lot of coaches. Went to a lot of campuses this summer, try to go to as many as possible. But Gettysburg was just absolutely a place for me. They got a great coach, great incoming class for the 2023 class, and a few 24s, which is super exciting. And it was pretty much home for me. I mean, it's close to home, enough for my family to come to games. The campus is super, super historic, which is what I need. Great community. But yeah, everything, the process was tough, but I had a lot of support from the family, and then travel ball as well, obviously at Peddie. So it was it's super relieving right now to know where I'm going.
Yep. And shout out to new pitching coach, assistant coach Jeremy Heffley at Gettysburg. We all see the trophy over my right shoulder. The ACBL championship trophy that coach is the youngest manager in league history to win a title. And already, as you said, you're really part of Coach Beddick's first recruiting class, big class coming in, probably 15, 20 guys, really a chance to, shape the program in his image and what he wants. What was it about Coach that caught your attention?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much on campus in August, like late August is when I stepped on campus, and I got a full tour from him. Got to speak to him personally, but everything that he knows about college baseball, he's one of the best in Division III, and he's at his alma mater too, which is super, super interesting, and it was super intriguing to know that he's there for a reason, and they brought him in for a certain reason, and I mean, he knows what he's talking about baseball wise, and academically, it's a great school. So everything about him was just a check mark.
And we look at the class that's already coming in, and it's pretty notable right away that your buddy, Hunter Delgercio, CBA, is senior this year. You'll be missing him a little bit during the season, but he'll be headed to Gettysburg with you, so that's got to be fun.
Super exciting. I mean, he was pushing me since the time he committed to commit with him, but I was just going through the process, and got a good text from him yesterday night. Seeing him on campus in another year. But I mean, we should be pretty good next year.
Yeah, definitely. They'll be pretty good this year, CBA. You're leaving them behind, obviously, but certainly you're your double play running mate from last year, Harrison Campy, is as good as it gets at short. There's a lot of talent left on the pitching staff too. Obviously you're gonna be playing your own games, but you're gonna still be a fan and try to follow as much as possible and maybe get out to a few.
Absolutely. I think Wyatt Hunt's he's playing second base now. He's going to Monmouth, which is super, super cool. But yeah, we had a lot of guys as sophomores and juniors playing last year. So, this is their year. We made a really good run last year. We went all the way to the sectional finals, and I'm hoping they do the same and win it for us.
Big Zane's still back for another year, right?
He's there for another year. They got a few commitments with Chris. Chris is going to Wake now, which is super sick. So yeah, I personally think the depth pitching wise is as good as it was last year. So they should be good this year too.
Sounds like you're pushing for a CBA versus Peddie game.
I don't think Peddie would allow it because it's not a big boarding school. And
no.
Yeah, they stick to their schedule.
You guys got a tough enough schedule as it is. We'll get to that in a second, but last year, tell us about that team, because super talented, obviously playing in a tough bracket, but what was it like playing with those guys every day? What's it like playing in the short conference? Because to me, it's like, I said once, it was like a Thanksgiving dinner where like you argue and you whatever with your, and then, that's how you are with the other teams, and the game's over. And then you guys are all going out to eat or drink and your best friend.
It was the best team that I've played on ever was last year. We had everybody it was such a tight knit group. Short conference was super, super competitive last year, as it always is. But yes, last year was just incredible. The teams that we played, we had to face RBC in a short conference, and then we were able to go back to their turf and beat them, which is super, super clutch. But yeah, we faced a lot of good guys. Pretty much as Coach Kenny said, everybody wants to beat CBA, and that's pretty much what it was last year. Just so facing everybody's top guy and just pushing to the limits. And I think we had a pretty good year last year after going 11-12 right before that year, my sophomore year. Yeah, junior, we had a bad year. But yeah, it was a super, super close group. Most of them are still at CBA, so I root for them.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be fun to see them with Luke and Chris kind of headlining the pitching staff.
Yeah.
But you can't win in the short unless you got a couple guys like that, right?
Absolutely. It's impossible if you're relying on one guy. You need a few guys for each game.
Who's the toughest guy you faced last year? For you, it doesn't mean the best.
For my personal belief.
Yeah.
Al Staniak, the kid was just super gross. He runs the fastball like 91, 92, and he's got a disgusting curveball. And he's just such a location guy. It's like you're facing like low 90s on the outside corner. It's super tough just to try to get a barrel off him. So it was good to face him.
Yeah.
Long time buddy too.
Yeah, no, Alex great. Everybody's got one of those. You had Colin last year and and Jack certainly, and like I said, Luke came on at the end of the year, but everybody, whether it was Ben Schild or Zach Crotchfeld or Cam or whatever, it's like every game you gotta be ready.
Yeah, we were able to face Crotchfeld in a preseason game. That's when it was like 20 degrees and he was throwing like 97 miles an hour, and I was like, what's going on here? So that was crazy. We unfortunately didn't get to face Ben this year. We faced the lefty. I don't know. Oh, Bezic. We faced Bezic. He's super crafty as well. Pretty much faced everybody.
Yeah. So what do you take that? How are we going to take that experience into Peddie? Because they lost a lot of guys from a really good team last year. And we'll be facing, the Huns of the world. Hun was, is certainly one of the best in New Jersey. Maybe not everybody knows because they're not competing for an NJSIAA title, but you look at the guys on the team and just awesome players. You know, you got Lawrenceville, it's always going to be good. You got Pennington, that's going to be tough within the county. How is your experience the last couple of years? How's that going to help, you know, with the younger guys?
Yeah, I mean, being a starter junior and senior year, and you're going against pretty much the best competition there is in New Jersey. Taking that to Peddie and just, you know, being the ultimate leader, you know, letting these younger guys know what it's going to be like to be in big games and be in big situations, and, you know, to control the game, be yourself, play the game how you want to play it. But yeah, I look forward to playing these schools. I mean, I heard a lot about Hun last year. I think they should be as good as they were. Pennington's going to be a great game, and always Lawrenceville. I mean, that's pretty much our big rival. So that's going to be a fun game. I think they come to us this year, which is super exciting. But yeah, I'm excited to, you know, let these younger guys and some of these junior guys, let them know what it's like, and to give them as many tips as possible.
You were at a school that was very connected as far as supporting other sports. You know,
Absolutely.
The cult Crazies obviously are maybe not all together in their head a little bit, you know, when games are going on. But so you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
How's Peddie been so far, you know, with the flock and you know,
Yep.
kind of similar in that respect?
We do pretty well. I mean, obviously coming from CBA, there was no football team. And now you go to Peddie, football's like the biggest thing. So a ton of guys, ton of people go to the football games. Boys soccer's another big one. But yeah, I mean, they do pretty well. I mean, it's obviously a school with a lot of international kids who don't really like know about the sports, and I mean, people just like to sit in their dorms and just do homework. But I mean, when it's a good day outside and then nobody's got class, you see a lot of people at the games. So it's not as good as CBA. But I think it's up there for the boarding schools for fan attendance.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different, right? I mean, it's a different environment, obviously, but as a post grad, right? So it's kind of a unique experience where you've gone through high school, you know, you're with those guys for years, you become really close with all of them. When you're doing the post grad thing, you're only there for a year.
Only a year, yeah.
So kind of talk to everybody about, like, how do you become part of that community? Because you got to do it quickly, right? I mean, it's, you know, you got to be good at making friends and whatever, you know. How do you become part of the community like that quick?
Well, I was on campus twice over the summer in June, when I was thinking about becoming a post grad, and then in August for my visit just to see what it was like. But it's super, super unique. I mean, I think more people should hear about it, especially if you're in like the area of like Peddie and like Blair and those places. It's a super, super interesting idea, because you're living in a dorm. You know, you're living on campus. You're living with other guys, and you're going to school on campus. So you don't really have to like leave, go back home. I mean, you have everything in your little space. So it's really intriguing. I mean, you got teachers live on campus. So it's, you know, you got questions at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you go see them in their house. But it's super cool. The community, everybody knows Peddie. I mean, they got a little town, Hightstown's really, really fun. Pretty much everybody knows, like, if you're coming into Molinari's, the pizza shop, they know you're from Peddie, give you a little discount. But yeah, everything's been super, super fun so far, and I'm having a blast.
What do we miss most about CBA, short conference, whatever you want to say?
CBA was just, I mean, I was with those guys for 4 years. I mean, we went through COVID together. We missed a season together, so it was kind of like the season we wanted. And we practiced every day, whether it was inside, outside. But yeah, also facing super competitive teams was exciting. You know, going into like a Friday game or a Saturday game against RBC at CBA was so sick. So I expect some good fan attendance at Peddie. I heard baseball is a big thing at Peddie too. People like to go to the games because it's right on campus. But yeah, there's a lot of things I miss, but there's a lot of things I gain at Peddie right now.
For sure. Now you shore guy, obviously, right? You shore conference, love it down the shore, whatever.
Yep.
Favorite shore towns for you?
Favorite shore town? Manasquan is number one. I'll give Spring Lake number two, and then I'll give Seaside number three. All those are just, yeah, I mean, or LBI too. If you could throw LBI in for Seaside because they're kind of the same thing, but the shore is super sick in the summer. I mean, especially if you go to like Belmar or like Avon, Spring Lake, tons of people, fun. Everybody knows everybody in Manasquan, so it's a great place to be.
Favorite places to hang out in the summer then down the shore? Where are we gonna see Alexey if we're if we're down there?
You'll see me probably on the inlet of Manasquan, probably just surfing or on the beach, just hanging with friends, especially now. Probably yeah, you'll see me you'll see me in the inlet almost every day.
Favorite Major League Baseball player?
Oh, Bo Bichette. 100%. No question.
You said that pretty quickly. Why?
He's just the guy. I mean, I loved him when he was in the minors, followed him all the way up, watched him play his first game. He's that guy. I mean, he bats leadoff as a rookie, and he had like the most hits for the Blue Jays in the first like 10 games, which is incredible. But super confident. He's got a great play style. He's a unbelievable shortstop, knows the game, and he's just a good guy.
So you've got this extra year, right? To play and do what you need to do. And the cool thing is now you've crossed off the most pressing thing, which is find your home for the next 4 years. What are our major goals between now and the start of the season that we got to do then?
Start of the season, I mean, I'm 165 now. I want to be 175, 180. And I have the opportunity to do that. I mean, I got 6 months to get big, and I got a great strength and conditioning coach. I got a great nutritionist at Peddie, they're giving me the plan, give me what to do. And if I follow that for 5 days a week, 6 months, I mean, I should be ready to really just hit tanks at Peddie. I mean,
yes.
There's no reason not
question,
to.
Right?
There's no reason not to.
You got the food plan, right? It's kind of like you can eat as much as you want. Once you got the plan, you know what you're supposed to eat.
Yep.
You got the weight room that's as big as like just giant.
It's huge. I mean, you got the free plan, you got the weight room, you got the indoor facility, you got the indoor cages, you have the field right on campus, anytime you can go to. So yeah, I think in 6 months you'll probably see a totally different player.
Better be like 185. Forget what
I think I can get there. I mean, I'm already up on the deadlifts. I'm already up on the bench. So 6 months, plenty of time, and I think it should be well worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got the resources there, right? We gotta take advantage because we gotta get to Field of Dreams pretty much, right? Is the World Series for D3 out in that area.
Yep. That's the goal once we get there.
We need to see you out in the cornfields before you're done.
You probably will. You'll definitely see the Gettysburg bullets out on the Field of Dreams in a short time.
I like it. We got pressure now on Coach too. You got 5 years to get to the World Series. I'm sure he wants to do it quicker than 5, but
we'll make it happen.
That's right. Pre-game rituals. What was at CBA? Who had the most unusual pre-game routine?
Most unusual pre-game routine. George Cruz, kid ate like Subway or Chipotle like every game before every game in the locker room. The game would be at like 3:45. It'd be like 3:15. He's eating like a Subway sandwich and just in the locker room, just chilling. But we had a lot of pregame rituals. We had bulletin boards of wins, losses, 10 runs or more, shutouts, music after the game if we won, in the locker room. But yeah, George was like a last minute eat guy. He'd go into the game on a full stomach.
We appreciate the time, Alexey. Thanks for coming on, doing this. Like I said, it's overdue, but we got it in. and really excited to see you here in Mercer County.
Hmm.
Get out and catch you in the spring, but we are looking for some tanks this year out of you. We're looking for, like I said, I think we only got one last year.
Yeah, you got one at Howell, but you'll see. I'll give you 7 or more this year.
That's what I'm waiting to see. So let's get it done. Let's get big, and let's crush it this year for Peddie.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Definitely. Alexey Stout, our guest. We'll catch everyone next time on JBN.